So we know what the ancient lyre looked like, what was the music theory behind its teaching, and how it was able to positively form the soul of an individual human and therefore gracefully form the collective soul of an entire society. If we want then to introduce the lyre to our lives and gradually to our society, we have to find out how it was played too. Thanks to many ancient sources and modern interpretations from various virtuoso musicians around the world, here are 10 ways to play with your lyre. What I have here on my hands is a 7-strings lyre. The most common way of playing similar instruments, and something I see a lot on the web for beginner lyre players, is to hold the instrument with the left hand and play the notes with the right. This is called plucking, and it is the easiest and more straightforward way of playing with your lyre. Be aware though, you must quickly move away from this, as staying there too much tends to make this limited way of playing permanent. You have to move forward and add your left hand to your playing. And to do that, you need this piece of cloth. Thanks to many ancient depictions, we know that the Greeks were using such a cloth to secure the lyre in their laps and be able to play using both hands. The ancient Greeks used to call it Telamonas, which is the word we use too. So, by attaching Telamonas to our left hand wrist, we can now use both hands. Of playing is also called plucking, but we are using both hands. But now we can add more techniques to our playing. Isokratis, for example, is now an option for us. We use our left hand to play a specific note, giving us the rhythm, and then we play a melody with our right hand. Having left hand free to accompany us, we can play more elaborated things on our lyre. This is called two hands playing or double plucking, and it is a technique that we can practice to unlock the true potentials of our lyre gradually. Having both hands free now, we can play chords using our fingers. Sound already began to feel more full and powerful, don't you think? It's time to introduce another thing that is constantly depicted in ancient Greek pottery, the so-called plectrum. Someone could say that it is like an ancient guitar pick, but the way it was constructed makes us use it differently. As you can see, the most obvious reason to use a plectrum is to make the lyre sounds louder. So it is a great technique to have when you perform for a big audience or in an open-air venue or amphitheater, as the ancient Greeks used to call it. But it is not only about louder sounds. If you look closer, you will see that the plectrums has an edge that can be constructed of wood, horns or bones. All these different materials can produce different sound qualities, different timbre. What's more, a plectrum is ideal when you try to play with specific playing techniques, such as Hroes. This sounds like regular chords, but they're not exactly the same. This is another well-documented ancient technique that can be found in various Greek pottery depictions. What we do here is to touch with our left hand the strings we want to mute. We want to silence them, and then pluck all the strings with our plectrum. This technique is called muting chords, and it comes straight out of musical heritage. The secret here is to use your plectrum whenever you can to produce the louder sound possible. That very sharp edge can act as a second movable bridge too, enabling you to play even more elaborate sounds. Here is where things get really impressive. What you have just witnessed is called harmonics, and it is another ancient playing technique based on what Greeks already knew back in the 6th century BC, thanks to the work of Pythagoras. If you have a string tuned in G note, when you plug it, you get the first harmonic. If you cut it in half by gently touching it at the very exact spot with your left hand, what you will get is the same note but one octave higher, or the second harmonic. By using the same technique, you can get the third, the fourth, or the fifth harmonic too. What we have here is an ancient playing technique that, if you master it, you will be able to have at least 3 more notes on every string. Do you still believe that the ancient lyre is a quite limited instrument? You can even take the harmonics technique and go one step further by playing Hroes on your lyre. By doing so, you can produce a full chromatic scale, playing only in one string. So 11 notes on a single string. Quite impressive, don't you think? Can you imagine now what you can do with only 7, 9, 11 or 13 strings if you manage to master that virtuoso technique? And this is not by any means the last playing technique. Let's say that you are looking for a sharp note to complete a song you want to learn or a composition of your own. There is a playing technique for just that, and it is called sharp pressing. By slightly pressing the string under the bridge and plucking it, you can raise the pitch by a semitone or even a tone. This very technique can enable us to play microtones on our lyre, and by doing so, we're able to unlock the enharmonic tetrachords on your lyre, one of the main 3 genera of ancient Greek music. Modern musical instruments can do that. Very, very few, and the ancient lyre is definitely one of them. What's more, there are many techniques that can be transferred to the lyre from other string instruments. Take, for example, the tremolo, a quite popular technique among classical guitarists. So if you already have a musical background in other instruments, rest assured that there are things to apply to your lyre learning and help you quickly move forward and develop your own personal style. After all these examples, it is easy now to imagine an ancient lyre playing a complete fugue in the style of legendary classical composers such as Mozart and Beethoven. Voices combined into one musical piece. This is the outcome of applying a virtuoso technique on our lyre playing, a technique called polyphony. And with that, we went through all the 10 playing techniques that you can use while playing with your lyre. Some are simple and ideal for beginners. Some are more complicated for intermediate and advanced lyre players. and some are reserved only for the virtuoso. However, they all share something fundamental in common. They can all be mastered with enough practice and efficient lyre learning. The first is in your hand, but for the latter, you can find anything you need to know at the lyreacademy.com, an online music institute with premium courses and masterclasses that will make you smile using tablatures and sheet music specially designed for your lyre. No matter if you are a beginner or an advanced lyre player, our academy is here to help you evolve. Join us and see you in the classroom.